sold the service. Sold the service. That means that he will pay the output. There is output VAT here on it. Whether in case of whether there is a similar service, the similar service is available in Rwanda, there is a VAT reverse charge. For example, you can say that the input and output here, maybe here if it is 1,000, even here should be 1,000. So under the acquisition of the foreign service here, in the case when there is no similar service, in the case when there is no similar service, in case when there is no similar service available, in Rwanda, the taxpayer may claim the input VAT. Let us look at the valuation of imported goods. In other words, valuation of customs, the value of the customs duties that have to be paid. So here we can say that the value of goods, the value of imported goods, here, the value of imported goods here is the CIF. The CIF here is cost insurance rate plus the CIF plus here plus the customs tax. The customs tax, port charges, and the other importation costs, and other importation costs, and the other importation costs. So therefore, the customs variation, here, it will be the CIF. You post the value of the CIF here. Again, you bring the import duty. You also post it here. You bring the excise duty. You post it here. You bring the port charges. Post it here. You bring other importation costs. Other importation costs. You can say that costs before the goods reach the port, like if the costs you incur before the goods reaches to the port, like Mombasa port. Then finally you get the customs value. And this customs value is the one that is subject to the VAT of 18%. Charges here, we have said, we have seen the port charges here. The port charges at the Mombasa are not considered, except those at the Majerwa in Rwanda. They are the ones that are considered. So therefore, let us look at how do you get the import duty here. So the import duty here, you take the CIF times the rate of the import duty. So exercise, you get, you take the CIF plus the import duty. You take the CIF plus import duty times the rate of exercise, the exercise duty rate. And then after getting that, you find out the VAT. And how do you get the VAT? The VAT here you take the CIF plus import plus the import duty plus excise duty plus port charges then times 18%. So that is how you get the customs, you get the VAT on the customs variation. That is for the mass breweries, where the mass breweries is dealing with the imports. So that question I've sent it. It will be there under the description of my YouTube channel, and I've also send it to you through your emails. So let us see the solution of it. The solution of mass breweries limited. Mass breweries limited. So here we have the cost. We have the cost here, which is we can talk of which are the freights, which are related to the freights. We have the FOB, which is related to the goods, so plus the other rated importation importation costs. So when I talk of importation costs, we say the costs incurred before the port. Those are the ones that we regard as other importation costs. And our FOB, which is the free on board, equals to 450,000. It was the free on board cost. So times the exchange rate, 1 USD was equivalent to 866. It is the rate we have taken, we have chosen. So, and then we get the 389,700, and we get the insurance costs was also in there, which is 30,000. So 30,000 times 866, so that we can get the figure in Rwanda francs. It's equivalent to 25 million. So we have the freight to Mombasa. Freight to Mombasa here. Freight to Mombasa is 50,000 times the 866 again, which gives me 43 millions and 300 Rwanda francs, 300,000, and get the CIF. What we have been looking at was the CIF. So the CIF here is 40. The CIF here. It is 458 million. 458 millions 980,000 Rwanda francs. And how about the import duty? The import duty, we have said that it is equal to CIF. So when I say CIF, it is the cost, insurance, and freight times the CIF times the rate. So therefore, the CIF here we have seen that it is 400 millions. 400 million times the import duty rate. We were given 25%, which has to give me 100 100 millions. We have the exercise duty. The exercise duty here. We have the CIF plus the import duty times the rate, and the rate you are given the rate of 7%. So therefore, the CIF here we have is this one. Plus the import duty. It is 100 million. Times 70%. So this gives me the figure. This gives me 400 million and 600,000. 600,000 7,500. And we need to get the customs value. So the customs value here, we need to sum up everything. So therefore, the customs value will be this one plus this one plus this one, which finally will give us we have got the customs value. This is the customs value, and to get the VAT equals to customs value times the rate, and the rate is 18%. So therefore, the customs value here is 900 million 900 million and 75,000 times 18%, which gives me 850. So that is the VAT. We have been asked about the withholding tax. The withholding tax here, it is 5. It is, you use the value of the CIF. This value of CIF, and we use 5% as withholding tax. 22 million. So that is the end of the question. Let us look at the registration for VAT here. What are the requirements for a taxpayer to register as a VAT taxpayer? So in Rwandan context, or according to Rwandan Rwandan tax structure, it is said that a person whose taxable transaction is preceding a calendar year or preceding quarter has reached at least 20 million Rwandan francs or 5 million Rwandan francs respectively, is required to register with the VAT administration for VAT and must obtain the certificate, the VAT certificate. So therefore, the registration must be accomplished within 7 days of the end of the calendar quarter or calendar year or calendar and if the business is newly formed, it may operate up to 3 months without registering for VAT. So however, as soon as the taxable transactions reach 5 million or more, it must be registered anytime before the end of the 3 months period. So that means that if a person has a different businesses in the same or different locations, he shall combine all the activities and register as a single as a single taxable unit. So therefore, let us look at the solution of one of the questions I've sent you, and I will also include it in the YouTube description. The question for a business taxpayer by the names of Ndwayes. So the solution for the Ndwayes, this Ndwayes commenced the business on 1st January 2018, and the monthly sales were as follows. So you're going to see his monthly sales, the sales he was making per month, and we need to find out when should Ndwayes register for VAT. So therefore, according to the quarterly rule, let us first of all look at for the quarterly rule when Ndwayes will pay the VAT. Quarterly registration rule of 5 million, as I have said. So here you write month, you write monthly sales, you write cumulative sales, so the in Rwandan francs, so let us see the January, the monthly sales were 1.8 million. So February it was 800. The March was 2 million. The April was 2.5. The May was 2 million. The June was 1.8. So now let us look at the cumulative sales. So the cumulative sales, the way it happens, you bring this 1.8 here. So this 1.8 plus 800, this gives you 2.6. So this 2.6 plus 2 million, that gives you 4.6. That gives you 4.6. So therefore, we have finished one quarter, and one quarter has failed to make 5 millions. So therefore, Ndwayes will not be able to pay the quarterly payment at the first quarter. So let us continue. This is the first quarter, it has ended without making 5 million. So let us bring this 2.5 again here, plus 2 million, that gives you 4.5. So 4.5 plus 1.8, here it will give me 6.3. So therefore, this means that the Ndwayes can be able to they can be able to register for VAT at the second quarter. Since you can say Ndwayes reaches 5 million, reaches 5 million in the second quarter, 5 million Rwandan francs in the second quarter. So he must register for VAT. So he must register for VAT. He must register for VAT and becomes the VAT taxpayer in the 7 days of month of July, because here we are in the June, so and you have to pay it within 7 days of the next month. So in the 7 days of the July. So that marks the end of the quarterly registration rule. The annual registration rule we have here. This solution is also for the question that will be in the YouTube description. So the January had 1.8. The February had 800. The March we have 2 millions. The April we have 2.5. We have May we have 2 millions. We have June we have 1.8. July we have 3 millions. We have August where we have 4.8, and we have September where we have 3.5. We have October where we have 6,850,000. We have November 2.8, 2.8700. We have here December we have 6.5. You bring the accumulation here. So here we need to accumulate until our turnover, until our turnover reaches at 20 million, because we are on the annual registration rule. So you bring 1.8 here, then 1.8 plus here, that is 2.6. So 2.6 plus 2 million, that is 4.6. 4.6 plus here, that is 7,100,000. So this plus here, that gives you 9,100. So 9,100 plus here, that gives you 10,900. 10,900 in the month of June. So plus here, that gives you 13,900,900. So here plus this one plus here, that gives you 18,700. So 18,700,000 plus 6 million, that gives you 22. That is in the month of September. That gives you 22,200,000 francs. So you have seen that this August we have made 18,700,000. So we are not yet 20 millions as a turnover that we have to base on, so that this taxpayer has to register as VAT. But when we reached in September, he has been able to make even over 20 millions as a turnover to be registered as a VAT taxpayer. So therefore, you can say that since Nduwaye's reaches 20 millions Rwandan francs, since Nduwaye's reaches 20 million Rwandan francs, so he must register VAT within 7 days. of within 7 days of October. Within the 7 days of October, because he has made it in September and he has to register for VAT within 7 days of the next month, of the following month. So that is the end of annual registration law. Let's talk of deregistration. Here the deregistration, if a taxpayer deregister, if a taxpayer deregister, if a taxpayer deregister from VAT, from the VAT, so VAT will be calculated on stock available. On the stock available and capital assets. And the capital assets on which the VAT was claimed. On which VAT was claimed. So therefore you are taken as if you are a consumer, as a consumer. So reasons for the register, reasons for the registrations, for the registration. Reasons for the registration. Number one reason, if the taxable supply no longer exists, e.g. bankruptcy, when you've gone into bankruptcy. Another reason that can make you to deregister from the VAT is if there is a permanent decrease. Permanent decrease in the taxable sales. In the taxable sales. I think if you are changing from taxable supply to non-taxable supply, if you change from taxable supply to if you change from taxable supply to non-taxable supply to non-taxable supply, or to exempt supply, non-taxable supply. So those are the reasons. Those are the reasons that can make a taxpayer to deregister as a VAT taxpayer. Let us look at the EBM machine, electronic billing machine. It is one of the digital ways that the government has employed so that the payments can be done electronically, so that they can be tracking the sales, those business people who are in the business of who are in the businesses actually. Here the EBM is just an electronic. It is an electronic billing machine which comprises two components, and number one component here there is what they call the satisfied electronic billing machine. Here it is of two components, the major two components. Where number one component is the CDS, sales data controller, and another one is CIS, which is satisfied invoicing system. So sales data controller. Sales data controller, here you can see that it is used in processing of in the processing and storing the sales data. While the CIS, it is used in the management efficiency. It is used in the management efficiency. That is stock control and sales analysis. So that is stock control. That is stock control and stock control and sales analysis. So from here we need to look at the receipts that require the requirements for the EBM that it has to fulfill for you to be the EBM. To be having the EBM, you need to issue out the EBM receipt. So therefore, we need to know what is under, or what is composed under the EBM receipt. So we say EBM receipt contents. We need to know the contents of EBM receipt. So number one EBM receipt here is taxpayer's name. Taxpayer's name. The second one is the TIN number, that is tax identification number. Another thing you can find out there is the address at which the sale takes place. The address at which the sale takes place. Another one you can also talk of the sales amount. And from here we need to know the obligations of EBM, the obligations of satisfied EBM. Of EBM. So number one obligations of EBM here is to purchase satisfied EBM. To purchase satisfied EBM from a licensed supplier. So the second obligation I can talk of is to install satisfied EBM at the sales